Welcome to the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. I'm Kate Grosvenor, your friendly perimenopause expert and life coach.
And I'm Gabriella, Kate's daughter, representing all the women who are nowhere near perimenopause but want to understand it better.
Whether you're just starting your perimenopause journey, deep into it, or you're a loved one trying to support someone who is, we've got you covered.
We'll be answering all of your burning questions, exploring the ups and downs, and sharing expert advice and personal insights.
So grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's dive into the wonderful, sometimes wild, world of perimenopause together.
And remember, no matter where you are on your journey, you are not alone.
Welcome to the Uncomplicated Perimenopause.
Hello, my darlings, and welcome to episode 14 of the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. My name is Kate Grosvenor. I'm a perimenopause expert and life coach.
And I'm Gabriella Grosvenor, Kate's daughter, here to learn with you all.
So, I'm just about recovering from yesterday. Had a very interesting day out in London. I came back yesterday and I decided that one of the things we're going to now stock on the lifestyle brand is fans. We were just having a conversation before we start this podcast. We were waiting for everything to set up about hair and all this kind of stuff because I spent my entire before the meeting yesterday just running around London trying to buy a fan.
Which you wouldn't think would be difficult.
No.
It shouldn't have been.
No, but yes, I've now decided that we're going to bring fans back. It's going to be a thing. We're going to, all of us perimenopausal women are going to walk around with fans loud and proud.
As you should.
I know.
As you should. Can't believe the podcast has turned a teenager. We're at episode 14.
I know.
Now a teenager.
Yeah.
That's
well,
crazy.
technically last time, but yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my thought for the beginning of this podcast. We're now going to. I think we're going to make fans a trend.
We should do that, beginning of every podcast, like thoughts of the week.
Well, we tend to just not talk about anything at the beginning of every podcast. Whatever we're talking about before the podcast starts, we just then carry on, don't we? So that's my thought. That's
I like
my thought.
It. I'm with you on it.
Fans are going to make a comeback. All women should just walk around with fans because I went to so many like lovely department stores and posh places where you think like Fortnum & Mason and kind of lovely posh gorgeous places where you think, oh, there's so many women in there, and they looked at me like I was mad. Why would anybody need a fan? I don't know why there's so many millions of women in the UK in perimenopause. Why would anybody need a fan?
Why would That's where we're going to revolutionise it.
I'm starting an absolute revolution. I'm fed up of this. There are so many millions of women across the world in perimenopause. Why are we not catered for?
I think it's because we live in the UK and people think that there's no need, but they're not considering.
No, I'm sorry. As you know, our lifestyle brand is catered directly for women in perimenopause. Everything in there, so is for women in perimenopause. Bamboo, supplements, collagen. I'm that's it.
Yeah.
Watch this space. You heard it here first. I'm going to become the number one stockist of fans all around the world. I am. I'm going to bring it back as a trend.
Love it.
Hashtag fans are a thing, or hashtag fans.
No, what did we say earlier? It was so good.
Fans, fun with fans.
For everyone that's watched not Young Sheldon, The Big Bang Theory.
Fun with flags.
Fun with flags. So we're going to do fun with fans. I love it. I am a fan of it.
Should we do a whole spin-off show?
So down. If you guys want to see the spin-off show, let us know.
It's going to be called Fun with the Fans.
5.
Anyway, 10 minutes into the podcast. Darling, tell me what the what is the episode for today?
So, this is from Katie in Canada.
Hello, good name.
Yeah.
She's off to a good start.
From Canada. She sent us a message on WhatsApp.
Okay.
It's not really a question again. It's one of those things that we need to talk about.
Things that make me go,
Sleep.
Oh dear.
Sleep, insomnia. She really suffers from insomnia really,
Bless
really
her heart.
badly. For many different reasons. She said she didn't state.
In perimenopause, just that's enough.
And she just wants some general advice because she's literally
Sweetheart,
tired.
bless you. Yeah, fatigue in perimenopause is a thing, and sleep is one of the main culprits. Okay, right, time me. This is one of those where I could do it for 10 podcasts. Okay, right, Katie, darling. First and foremost, you have to understand sleep is not just about before you go to bed, especially in perimenopause. Sleep is a combination of what you do during the day, the environment in your room, what's going on in your body before you go to sleep, and what's going on in your mind and your hormones. So you're going to have to I want you to look at sleep as a kind of system, as a whole kind of ecosystem almost. I don't know if that makes any sense. It does in my mind, but then again, my mind is a little bit fruity. So basically, first and foremost, start looking at the easiest thing first, which is the easiest thing to change is the environment in your room.
Mm-hmm.
So your room shouldn't be too warm.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd say like 20, 21 degrees maximum, but probably in perimenopause a little bit cooler. Now, if you are sleeping with someone else, you're going to have this conversation with them about room not too warm.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, for me, as you know, I sleep like this. I sleep
like
just
creepy.
I go to sleep with my arms next to my side, and I don't move in my sleep. But in perimenopause, I kind of have to sleep with 1 foot and a third of the bottom of one leg out.
What?
Right. So temperature control in perimenopause is the thing.
1 foot out of the blanket.
So 1 foot out of the blanket and the kind of third of, so probably like half of the bottom of one leg out.
Best way to sleep.
Is about right for temperature control.
I think I do the same, actually.
Do you know what I mean? Like, not a whole half a leg. And not both halves of this, because like, what kind of heathen are you?
The monsters will get
legs, I mean, like, yeah, right, the boogeyman. Yeah. But just like half of a bottom leg. So when it comes to discussion, again, it's that open communication with somebody, like saying the room doesn't need to be too warm. Yeah. You know, if they need to adjust their bedding and their clothing. So it might be a thing if you share a double bed or you share a king size bed or something. To at this point, just for the immediate future, actually have 2 separate sets of bedding on one bed and then cover them with a big duvet. So for example, if you are going to need lots of layers, which is quite good in perimenopause, for that person to have their bedding and for you to have your bedding and then cover it over with like a big comforter to look nice, but for you to have separate bedding, because you do need to have your temperature control really needs to be good, because one of the things that will wake you up the easiest is lack of temperature regulation.
Yeah, okay.
Because you can have a hot flash like that at night time. So it's really, really important that you regulate your temperature, and that whoever you sleep in bed with, whether it's a child or a partner or a dog or a cat, kind of your temperature regulation comes first.
How do you regulate your temperature when you sleep?
Well,
because you have a fan.
So I have
Wow.
I have a whole paraphernalia of self-orientated equipment. So that sounded really naughty. Don't mean it in that way at all. Although no, don't go there. So I have a fan next to my bed. That I have 2 fans next to my bed. I have a fan for my face, the Dyson.
Oh, okay.
And I have a fan for my body.
I know that one, yeah.
And then I have a little radiator, an oil-filled radiator for winter.
Oh, okay. I thought at the same time I was like, no.
No, that would be weird. That's a little bit odd. And then so I have 2 lots of different heat regulations. And then I have bamboo bedding.
Yeah.
And I have layers of bedding. And then I have my bamboo nightwear, which is a non-negotiable thing. So bamboo, as you know, is thermoregulating. So if anybody's listening to this, bamboo bedding and bamboo nightwear, if you struggle to sleep and stay asleep, if you wake up because you're hot or you wake up because you're cold. So the thing is, if you sweat in your sleep and then it wakes you up because you're cold and wet, it's so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's so miserable, because then you have to start changing yourself. You will wake up and you'll feel quite grumpy.
Yeah.
And that's going to keep you awake. So one of the secrets is to, whatever you have to do when, in the middle of the night, don't let it wake you up too badly. So getting up for a pee, for example, don't put big lights on. So get motion sensor lights.
Yeah.
You know, the motion sensor lights that you have for kids on night lights.
Yeah.
That's what you want in the bathroom.
People like trying to go in the dark, going like this. Walking around, eyes closed, of course.
Yeah. But get motion sensor night lights.
That's cute.
So that you can go to the bathroom with like the minimal light and then go back again. So you don't want to have like massive lights on.
That's a good piece of advice.
So, and if you want to have thermoregulating, like bamboo nightwear is the best nightwear.
Yeah. It so is.
No, it's just a thing of absolute glorious beauty. So
I talked about it when Rowan and I went live actually the other day, because it is for perimenopausal women. It's great.
Yes.
But not just for those kind of women. Like I was talking about how I've struggled with sweating in general. In the past, I could be sat down, deodorant on, everything, and I'm sweating. It really helped someone like me at nighttime. I would get up really grumpy, having to change because I've sweat through everything, and I'm asleep. So it really helps.
Bless you, yeah. And Roan was talking about it as well, wasn't she? Because she's on this. She says, as she says, I've got to touch the tisms.
Yeah, I like
meaning
it.
she's autistic, and so for her it's a sensory issue.
Yeah.
So bamboo, because it's thermoregulating and because it's so soft, it helps her, because anything that's polyester or shiny or scratchy or itchy, she can't wear. So yeah, I mean, in terms of the lifestyle brand, for her, bamboo nightwear's been a godsend, but for perimenopausal women, it's brilliant. So yeah, so temperature is the big one. So that's really, really important. Nighttime is the lighting in the room and the temperature in the room. Okay, so the lighting needs to be a warm light.
I was going to say, is there a perfect lighting?
Well, yeah, so you need to be able to have, next to your bed, you need to be able to have different stages of lighting. So in the UK, we have something called the big light. The big light.
Oh, literally the big light. Okay.
And then you have, the big light's the light you have above your head. So, turn the big light. Can you put the big light on? Can you pick the big light off? I don't know what you call it in other countries, but we have the big light.
Okay.
And then you have your side lights, or your little lights, or your bedside table lights.
Yeah. Tell us in Canada. What
do you call it in America or Australia or Canada or but we call it the big light. So you've got the big light. Can you take the big light off? And then you've got, normal lights. So when there's something that we call sleep hygiene, or which I always think is a bit weird, because it's like, what's sleep dirty?
Yeah.
Don't get that. But in when we talk about it in life coaching terms, we call it about sleep hygiene, but I like to call it a nighttime ritual. So when I was saying to Katie about it's not just what you do around bedtime, sleep rituals or nighttime rituals are really, really important. So it's thinking about the hour or two before bedtime. So when I come upstairs and for example, I run a bath. Now we live in a house that's as old as the hills, as you know, and it's so old, our house, but it takes about half an hour to run the bath. So if you lived in a house like that and you knew it's going to take half an hour to run the bath, or however long it takes, it's a good idea to think about, okay, well, when I come out of the bath is my cooling down time, is my winding down time. So while I'm running the bath, I set the bedroom for when I come out the bath, because I don't want anything to disturb me.
Yeah.
So I want to have the light correct, which means a dim light. So I'm going to put my side light on.
Turn the big light off.
Yeah. I want to have my bedroom tidy. Because I'm going to get disturbed if I come into a bedroom and it's messy. It's going to disrupt my brain. Okay. I want to have, I have that thing next to my bed that like gurgles lovely lavender.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm going to put that on so the smell in my room is correct. So it's going to be very calming.
It's a calming smell, lavender. Yeah.
Very calming, very reassuring, comforting. Smells like a spa. Because smell is very, very important for us. So smell is very important with memory. So the part of the brain...
Yes. Yeah.
There you go. So the part of the brain that processes smell smell is processed in your limbic system, and it's processed through your olfactory nerve. Okay. Now all your other senses are processed in a different part of your brain. The only one that's processed in the limbic system is your smell. Goes through the olfactory nerve, and it's processed next to the part of your brain called the hippocampus. And your hippocampus processes new memories. So if you think about little hippopotamus going off to camp, and he's got a little backpack on, and he's taking his little new memories off with him to camp, right?
It's
cute. So the hippocampus processes new memories. And so when you process a new memory, you quite often process a smell with it. So if you think about the smell in the first house that we moved into in England, or you can immediately, straight away. Or if you think about...
even people, like ex-boyfriends.
Oh my god, if I remember what my ex-boyfriend used to smell like,
or what we wore at the time when we were dating,
right? And if you smell it, it takes you straight back in time. I remember wearing white musk perfume by the Body Shop when I was like 12 or 13, and if I smell like that now, it's like all the insecurities and the blue eyeshadow comes back. Do you know what I mean? So I mean, it was 1984, but 1986. So it's like smell takes you straight back in time, like nothing else. So for those of you who, if you've ever been to a spa or you've ever been somewhere really relaxing, emulating that smell or replicating that smell will take you straight back to that relaxing, calming period. So creating like a signature sleep smell tells your brain, and now it's ready for rest. And now it's time to sleep, my love.
Yeah.
So you put the smell on, you get the lighting right, you get the temperature right, and your brain says, okay, that's why I call it a sleep ritual. Now it's ready for rest. Okay, you start running your bath, tidy up, make sure everything's clear, and then you do skin ritual. You know what I'm like? Never sleep with my makeup on.
No. What is it? You age a week or something every
time? Yeah, so every night that you sleep with makeup on, your skin ages 7 days. We don't do that.
That's a good piece of advice, actually. That's a good
You've
tip.
never seen me sleep with makeup on?
No.
Not new. Anno.
Or Rowan.
No, just, I told Rowan once and she was like, I'm never doing that. No, not a chance. So, and then you get your pajamas ready or whatever you're going to, so you have the least stress, the least hassle. So you go and have your shower, your bath, whatever. You come in, your pajamas ready, and then you go into bed. Now, ideally, you want no phone, no TV, no blue light, white light. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to let your brain wake up.
What does it do, being on your phone? Because I hear a lot of people say, "Don't watch TV."
It stimulates your brain. You see, it wakes your brain back up again, because that's your brain associates it with daylight. It associates it with being stimulated. So you don't want your brain to wake up. So ideally, you're going to let your brain relax, maybe read a book, maybe just meditate, anything like that. Yeah. So you create this nighttime ritual, and your brain starts to understand, right now I'm ready for sleep. Okay, so that's nighttime ritual. Let's go back a bit further.
Okay.
Let's look at supplements.
Okay.
Now, 1 to 2 hours before bed, there are certain supplements that you can take that we know are going to be really, really good for you. Magnesium glycinate. Okay, magnesium is great in terms of muscle tension, because muscle tension can keep you awake, it can give you insomnia. So muscle tension, it can make your muscles really tense, it can give you muscle spasms. These are things that are going to keep you awake. Magnesium glycinate, out of all the magnesiums, there's so many different types of magnesiums: magnesium taurate, magnesium glycinate, magnesium citrate, magnesium. There's so many different types. So either a magnesium complex, like a general magnesium, like the ones that we have in our new supplement range. That's a shocker. Spoiler alert. So
I worked so hard not to spoil it the other day in the live.
Oh, bless you. They're coming out next week anyway. Fine. So you're okay. You'll know about it sooner or later, because they're all coming out next week. So spoiler. So like a complex magnesium, or just a magnesium glycinate that so a complex that has magnesium, you'll either see it as biglycinate or glycinate in it, is the best one, because that will give you, because glycinate, which is glycine, which is actually in the collagen as well, in our collagen, in the perimenopause collagen. Glycine is something that helps you aid sleep, so it helps you go to sleep and stay asleep. So glycine is really, really important. So magnesium is a really, really good supplement for women in perimenopause when it comes to sleep and just muscle tension in general. So I'd recommend that. Also, lion's mane. Now, lion's mane is great for concentration. It's great for brain health. But it also, if you take it 1 to 2 hours before bed, will help you go to sleep and stay asleep.
Okay.
How
does it do both?
It just does. It just does. And it's a weird one, because it's like it's a fungus. It's a mushroom that grows on trees, and it grows. It's like white fungus. It just grows, but it grows in these like white strands on trees. That's what it's called, lion's mane. But it's very, very good. It's very, very good for your brain. And then there's other things that you can take. So you could have something like valerian.
I've not heard that.
It's in a calm tea. You know the calm teas that we have?
Cool.
No calm. So things like that. And then there's a new thing that's coming out that we're not allowed to talk about, but that new thing that's coming out that we're not allowed to talk about, that will be coming out in a few months' time. And there's different ideas that you can do, but something warm, something calming, some kind of drink, some kind of things like that.
You do like your herbal teas before bed?
Yeah, herbal teas, warm drinks, always a good idea. Staying away from caffeine in the afternoons. To have your caffeine in the mornings. In perimenopause especially, stimulants like caffeine, really a morning thing. Yeah. I stick to 1 cup of coffee, 1 cup of tea, max. That's it.
I do like a good cup of tea at like 6 o'clock.
Yeah, but you're not in the perimenopause.
True. I think other British women would feel the same.
Awesome, but don't do it. You know, your body doesn't need the stimulants, and if you're struggling to sleep, the more caffeine you're going to have, the more it takes time to get out of your system, the more you're going to struggle. So yeah, great, you love a cup of tea. Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Because every time you don't sleep at night, you get this sleep deficit, and you know, deficit builds up over time, and you get more and more fatigued. And the more and more fatigued you think, well, if I've got a sleep deficit, surely I'm going to want to sleep tonight. Actually, it's the opposite way around. If your body gets used to the lack of sleep, and you're so tired you almost can't sleep eventually, and then that in itself becomes a problem. So you don't want to not sleep, because that then becomes the problem.
Is that a good time with like a lot of people set bedtimes every day?
It's great, because there's something called the circadian rhythm that says if your body gets into the rhythm of sleep, it knows when to go to sleep, it knows when to wake up. So set bedtimes and waking up times. It's not just setting a bedtime, it's setting a wake up time as well. Typically in perimenopause, we do need a bit more sleep. So we're aiming for around 8 hours. So that our body goes through enough sleep cycles. Our body needs to go to 5 to 7 sleep cycles a night. We know that means we need around 8 hours, especially in perimenopause. The more set those hours can be, the more our body understands them. And we, you know, in order for our body to understand them, the best advice we can do is in the mornings, as soon as possible after we've woken up, we need to let our eyes see the sunlight. So if we can go for a walk for 5 minutes in the morning, or just be outside for a few minutes in the morning, just get that sunlight on our skin and in our eyes, you know, without sunglasses on.
Before our screens.
Before our screens, we need to see real sunlight. That would be a really, really good idea. And just, you know, get our bodies into the habit of like, this is when and even on the weekends, because the temptation on the weekends is to have that sleep binge, but that's really, really bad for you. It's much better to go to sleep at the same time, wake up at the same time, avoid the sleep binges.
Your body will get used to it as well.
Yeah, and your body will thrive on a regular bedtime.
It'll wake you up.
Yeah, and it's so much better for you. Exercise as well. The more you exercise, the better your sleep you'll get. So if you avoid exercise because you're tired, you're going to end up being more tired.
You got me there.
Yeah, the more you exercise, the better your sleep will be.
Exercise could be yoga as well, couldn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It doesn't have to, when I say exercise, I don't mean like being a sweaty Betty in the gym, doing like massive yoga, massive kind of Zumba workouts. Exercise can be going for a brisk walk. It can be, it can be yoga. It could be boxing. I love boxing. It can be scuba diving. Those are my favorite things.
Yeah.
But it can be Pilates. It can be yoga. It can be Tai Chi. It's moving your body.
Yeah. I could so see you like scuba diving every day if we lived like
near.
Yeah. You so would.
I love you know me. So avoiding stimulants, exercising, getting that melatonin, making sure you get into the sunshine. And then it's avoiding other things like alcohol. Alcohol will disrupt your sleep. Sugar will disrupt your sleep.
Yeah, you're right.
So if you have too much sugar in your system in perimenopause, your body can become insulin resistant. So you're going to end up with that kind of raised heart rate, especially at night time. So your body won't be able to, flood your system with enough insulin to mop up all the sugar. What it will then do is raise your heart rate, trying to encourage you to go for a run. Let's get rid of that sugar, darling. Let's go for a run. And you're like, no, like, don't, duh. And so you'll go to bed, and then you'll think you're anxious, because that's what your brain knows a raised heart rate is. So then you sit there at night and you go, I'm so anxious, like I can't cope. No, darling, it's just your heart's trying to get you to run, but we don't associate it with that. So you've got this heart palpitations. By the way, if you think you're having a heart attack, please go and see your practitioner, medical practitioner. Don't think it's just sugar.
You call
999 or 911 or whatever it is in your particular country code. Don't sit there and think, well, okay, just then it was the heart palpitation. No, and if you think you're in, please just,
stay safe out there.
Yeah, stay safe. Don't risk it. So
it's all about rituals.
Yeah, so it's rituals, and it's creating rituals. I hate the word routine, as you know. So it's all about creating rituals that serve you and creating a life that's full of goodness, because which hard do you want? Hard.
As in?
Well, creating a sleep ritual is hard because you stick to the things and you make sure the temperature in the room is correct, and you remember to put your gorgeous smell on, and you remember to take your water to bed, and you remember to take your makeup off, and can I be bothered? And but do you want to get a good night's sleep?
Yeah.
Do you want to get that? You wake up in the morning, you think, I'll just press snooze. Okay, we'll press snooze, but then your body wants to go back into the sleep stage, and you don't let it finish the sleep stage, so it's like going to struggle. And if you press the snooze button, your body is going to not finish off the sleep cycle, so it's going to feel like it's wading through treacle for the first 1 to 2 hours of the day because you haven't let it finish the sleep cycle, and it's like you're actually torturing your brain for 1 to 2 hours because you haven't let it finish the sleep cycle. So which hard do you want?
I think you've got us all there.
Which hard do you want?
You're so right.
So
you can't
argue with it. So if you create these beautiful rituals, like remember your supplements. And how do you remember a supplement? Well, let me ask you this question. Okay, where are you when you should take the supplement? So collagen, for example, right? Our collagen is odorless, tasteless, can go into any drink or any food. All right. Where are you when you take the supplement? In the kitchen.
Yeah.
What time of day do you take the supplement? In the morning. Where do you take the supplement? In the coffee.
Yeah.
Where do you keep the supplement? Put it next to the coffee.
Right.
And use the trigger of having your coffee to put the supplement in the coffee. Okay? Another one. And people say to me, well, I can't remember to take my supplements at night time. So I'll say, well, what do you do every night? Brush my teeth. Right, put your supplement next to your toothbrush.
Yeah.
Why? Because you'll use the trigger of brushing your teeth to remember to take your supplement. You see what I mean? You use a trigger of the habit that you already do.
Yeah.
To do the habit that you want to learn.
Yeah. It's like when you take your makeup off, you then put your moisturiser on
there you
because
go.
they're next to each other.
Well, it's just whatever it's, habit, you can chunk habits, which sounds disgusting, which is like you chunk a habit that you already do onto a habit that you want to do, or you use the trigger of the habit that you already do to trigger the new habit. Yeah. And it's which hard do you want? But sleep, yes, in perimenopause is not always the easiest, but we can control it, Cut down on alcohol. Preferably don't drink at all in perimenopause. It doesn't suit us. Cut down on caffeine. Stay hydrated. Yeah. Take your supplements. Exercise. Create sleep rituals. Meditate. Keep as calm as you can. Lifestyle. Bamboo bedding. Lifestyle. Bamboo nightwear. Nice smells in the room. Dim lighting.
I'm going to use that one, the smell one.
Oh, it's
That's a really, really good one.
Yeah, thing of beauty. And it's not easy in perimenopause. It really isn't. But there are things that you can do. And try, meditating, try nice apps. And be willing to just keep trying new things. Keep calm. Remember, it does get better. And just talk kindly to yourself.
Yeah, people do forget to do that.
They do. And if you're really struggling, Katie's in where? Canada. Okay, darling. Rule number 1, our perimenopause group is buzzing 24 hours a day. If you're asleep, it's daytime over here. Just pop a message in the group and we'll get back to you. We're always around.
Yeah.
I promise you. Am I okay for time? That's about right, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got 30 seconds.
Okay, I'm actually not too bad today. As always, I hope that helps, my darling. Don't forget, we're always here to answer your questions, look after you, and as always, please speak kindly to yourselves. You can find us on WhatsApp, or you can find us in our perimenopause group. It's Perimenopause with Kate Grosvenor. If you want to ask any questions, thank you as always for listening, and we will speak to you next week. Bye.
Thanks for joining us today on the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. We hope you found this episode helpful and inspiring.
Don't forget, if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, you can reach out through our perimenopause group or on WhatsApp.
For more information on my coaching, perimenopause supplements, books or upcoming events, please visit www.kategrosvenor.com.
And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, rate and review our podcast. It really helps us reach more listeners just like you.
Until next time, remember, perimenopause doesn't have to be complicated. We're here to help you every step of the way.
Stay uncomplicated.